Up, welcome in Swish Masters Live. We are live in the flesh, post game NBA Finals. I'm your boy Zay, the executive producer here, man. Heat Nation, let's hear it. Nuggets Nation, maybe next time. What up, people? Thank y'all for tuning in to another episode live here with us. Just getting into that second game of the NBA Finals. Heat win it 111-108. Obviously, you know how I'm feeling right now. Got my Heat hat on. Always representing. Heat Nation, stand up. How we feeling? Q, how you feeling, man?
The last 10 minutes of that game, bro. But I'm gonna let you have the floor, man. Give us your reaction to the game, man.
My immediate reaction to the game is overall, I'm pleased with our effort. I felt like we did a much better job on defense. Jokic obviously torched us for 41, but kind of went into the game plan of either you're gonna have Jokic scoring or you're going to have him making plays, scoring and passing and making big contributions to the game. And I think that we took the right route by limiting the other guys. I think Jamal Murray kind of got it going. He had some timely shots late in the fourth and throughout the game, but kind of minimized his ability for the most part. Other guys weren't able to really get into a rhythm, which was good. Aaron Gordon didn't get those easy inside baskets, even though we had some slips in the pick and roll. But overall, I'm pleased with our defensive effort. I think that I'm really happy with how Bam approached this game. Obviously, Gabe Vincent went off for 23. Big boost. Duncan Robinson making timely baskets, which is good. Really, I knew that our guys were going to be fine on the offensive end, but I'm really happy with the adjustments made on defense. And that brings to the next point that we're going to have to adjust again, because obviously these Nuggets are very well coached. They're great players, and they're going to make an adjustment to their game. So going forward, I'm looking forward to seeing our defensive adjustment as well. But that was my biggest thing, seeing us active hands, rotating the shooters, being able to work the zone that at least no one else could score as much as Jokic. So overall, I'm pleased with that.
Yeah, I wonder if the coaches watched our post-game analysis, man. Like, for real, literally everything we talked about happened in this game. The adjustments we talked about for the Heat, that happened. Like we talked about, I know we brought up Kevin Love.
Yep.
We saw him. He made a good impact. Like, I know I literally brought that up and suggested bringing out a Caleb Martin or Gabe Vincent off the bench, and we saw that too. Yep. That exactly happened, and we talked about letting Jokic get his and disrupt everyone else, and that happened again too. So that's what's up. Shout out to Swish Masters Podcast, man.
Shout out to the Swish Masters Podcast. We're giving out game, man.
For real. But yeah, that's exactly what happened. If you go back and listen to our previous podcast, that's exactly what happened in this game. Jokic, still amazing, still balling. 41 points, 11 rebounds, but only 4 assists. Only 4 assists. And I believe the record is reflects that too. When Jokic gets 10 plus assists, that record is over 60%, something like that. So, but when he has nights like this, they tend to lose. So that is definitely the game plan. And then the zone, they wait to utilize the zone to the fourth quarter, which is another adjustment. I figure they may go to the zone earlier in the game, but we see it here. And with the inclusion of Kevin Love in the starting lineup, that allows Jimmy Butler to guard Jamal Murray, and of course he only had 18 points. Especially in the first half, man to man, for the most part, Jimmy was doing a good job slowing him down. Of course, you saw Murray make some big time shots towards the end of the game, but that's what Murray's going to do. But it wasn't enough. It was not enough at all. I question if Aaron Gordon can get you the same production. He didn't tonight. Also, Michael Porter, same thing. Only 5 points tonight. That can't happen. Shout out to Bruce Brown for showing up. Shout out to Chris Brown. Sorry, he pronounced Brown, but it's spelled Braun. But it's Brown. Shout out to him too. He made some impact plays early in the game, but it just wasn't enough. And on the Heat side, Max Strus did some good shots. Like, he kept him in. Yeah, especially in the first quarter, man. Hitting some nice threes, man. Gabe Vincent, still that same consistent score. And Bam had a really efficient night tonight. 21 points on 14 shots. And again, with this Heat team, what impresses me is really not about just one superstar playing like at a superstar level. Don't get me wrong, Jimmy Butler played good, but this is not playoff Jimmy game to me. Am I right about that?
Yeah, it's not really that exploding, crazy 30, 40, 50 type Jimmy. But it's the Jimmy that we needed tonight, at least, to get into the flow of the team offense. That's what was really big in comparison to just one guy taking over. And obviously, we know he's capable of that. But I think Jimmy, as he said before many times, he trusts his teammates and he trusts Spo, trusts the flow of the game, the scheme, and what they're trying to do, which was obviously get the shooters going. And he still, whether he was making a play for somebody else or he's getting the basket, was able to make the right play. And I think that's really like one of his most underrated abilities, even though we obviously know that he can go for 30 and 40 and just put the team on his back. He's the superstar that I think more than like 9 times out of 10, he's going to make the right play, whether that's for himself or for somebody else. So yeah, he didn't score. I think he had 21 and 9. But overall, his production was good because it worked for what the team was doing. So I'm happy with that. I'm really, really happy for Bam to be performing the way he is. Obviously, he has a big assignment in Jokic, and I think even though Jokic had 41 tonight, it played into the scheme of things, and he's doing a good job of just making him work for it. And he's talented, so Jokic is doing his thing, but Bam on the other side is coming back and being a threat, being aggressive, and being that other playmaker. So when he's got it going, scoring, and he's making plays with these guys, I'm very confident in what they can do.
Yeah. Gabe mentioned gave you 23. That's crazy, man. Shout out to Gabe Vincent. Other person we mentioned, was Duncan Robinson. Great stretch in the fourth quarter.
Absolutely.
8-0 run by himself.
Miami runs on Duncan. Robinson, for real.
Yeah.
I got to shout out Duncan too, because even I've been like critical of his game at times in the past few seasons. With obviously we know he can shoot. We know he's a catch and shoot threat at all times. But being able to put it on the floor, being able to make the pocket pass, being able to make a lob pass to Bam in the pick and roll, he's really improved on that. And he's finishing at the rim, and he's just confident. That's the main thing that comes with this team. These guys are so confident. A lot of undrafted talent, a lot of guys that have been written off so hearsay or whatever, and guys that just want to prove themselves. And Duncan is really exhibiting his growth, his skills, and I appreciate him for being ready to go in that fourth. There was a big scoring burst from him in those few minutes. So shout out to Duncan.
Another game changer for this game was the free throws. The disparity wasn't as like egregious this game. Miami Heat shot 20 free throws tonight, and Nuggets shot 22. But shout out to the Heat for actually making those free throws, 90%.
You got to get the free ones.
Got to.
You don't get these opportunities that often. You got to cash in on them. So,
right.
Big time.
Not only that, but like closing out the defensive possession by getting the defensive rebound. Like the rebounding battle was pretty much even for the most part. Although the Nuggets had more. For example, they had 38 total to Miami Heat's 31. But that's in the ballpark. You know, you don't want to just be overpowered by the boards, right? So,
for sure.
Miami just did Miami things, man. But this team you don't know who will show up. In this game, it was Gabe Vincent and Duncan Robinson gave you that huge stretch, and Kyle Lowry also had some just like tough shots.
Yeah.
And then when you have a player in Jimmy Butler that can show up and make those good decisions and big shots in the fourth quarter like you need it, that's what you need, man. That's the recipe you need to win here. And again, Bam can keep playing like this. I might have to consider changing my my prediction here. But I'm still rolling with it though. I'm still saying Nuggets in 5, although now the Heat do have home court advantage.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
It's good.
Hey, I respect your decision on choosing Denver, but I'm not gonna be mad if you switch over. I'm not gonna be mad at that at all. But yeah, Bam has been very much a great leader in these first 2 games for sure, and I'm happy with the result because of getting at least one on the road is what you want, especially going back home. So it's a nice little momentum shift for sure.
Yes,
South Beach is gonna be so fire, so fire on this Wednesday. I'm looking forward to that one.
Yeah, let's start talking about adjustments that both teams can make. Let's start with the losing team in Denver. Denver was just so undisciplined tonight. Very disappointing. How do you leave a wide open 3-point shooter, Max Strus, multiple times?
In the first quarter.
In the first quarter. And then same thing shows up in the second half as well. Yeah. Again, Gabe Vincent. How you leave him wide open? Like, I know Duncan Robinson is going off, but you do not need to send 2. Poor communication. Really poor communication. And all these lapses made me think maybe the Nuggets didn't feel the pressure like they should have. You're in the NBA Finals. The Heat played with the more intensity most of the night. But you can't do that in NBA Finals. You can't slack off. And I feel like Denver slacked off and it showed up in their defense, especially when you have a veteran like Caldwell Pope, KCP. Bad decisions, bad fouls. That was terrible. You can't have that come from a veteran like that. And just look rattled. So I believe Mike Malone is the type of coach to rein in the team and have them doing drills, and I believe the Nuggets will be more disciplined, but they have to shore up that first. Be disciplined in your assignments and your rotations. Communicate effectively. Gotta communicate. That's the first thing they can do is an adjustment. Second, you got to find a way to like neutralize that zone. The Miami Heat, y'all did a good job tonight, not letting Jokic get into the middle of that zone, right? So Mike Malone got to come up with some type of counter because that zone has proven to be so effective. And not only that, the man-to-man matchups now that you have Kevin Love starting, it kind of neutralizes Aaron Gordon to some degree. What can you do to get him going, right? What can you do to get Jamal Murray going, right? So you got to try to find ways to do that. I believe Jokic should show up every single night. Jokic is not the issue. It's about how can you get the others involved. So I believe Mike Malone can do that, but if they can shore up that defensive discipline, if they can do that, that'll make huge strides for them to like adjust back into the game. So Zay, what are some things that the Heat can do to ensure they keep home court advantage in Game 3?
The key for the Heat will be to continue to force Jokic to be more of a scoring position instead of the playmaker. Like you said tonight with Porter Jr. and Aaron Gordon, those are the other guys, KCP, that are they're shooters that kind of get the flow of the offense going with Jokic, and I doubt that he's going to stop passing the ball to them, but they have to be prepared to hit and make plays as well. And like you said, I think for the key is to keep getting those guys irritated for the Heat, keeping them minimized, keeping them out of the game, and just the rotations tonight, even when they were playing man-to-man, or whether it's the zone, they keep everybody honest by rotating really quickly. Continue to make Jokic beat you by scoring, not by making plays and scoring. And the other thing is just playing the way they've been playing tonight, like just within the flow of the offense, finding the right shots. I think that's a big thing, and playing through Bam. Continue that. Let Bam make plays, whether they give him mid-range jump shots or he can be up top, kind of anchoring the offense on those cuts and handoffs. I think that's the key. For the Heat, also, we want to get Caleb Martin going. He hasn't had the best first two games in this series, but I think that it's going to turn around going home. I know he's recovering from a little bit of an illness. He missed practice yesterday, but he was able to play. I think he's going to be a lot better going forward. Jimmy Butler, just be aggressive as well.
There's some good adjustments. Yeah, I can't really think of anything else. Honestly, the too many ways to impact the zone like that, like y'all playing. Just gotta try to attack the middle and play out the middle. That's one of the best ways to attack that type of zone that the Heat are running. Other than that, Jamal Murray, you got to ask him to step up even more. Find ways to be that scorer, that all-star that you are, that you deserve to be, and not technically all-star, but you deserve to be an all-star, sir. Step up and find ways to get buckets. Honestly, can't really think of any other adjustment that they can make. Looking at their roster here, it's not so much they can do. I believe now.
Play better defense.
Yes, true. They can. They
just made a lot of mental lapses that they probably won't. But it would be a different game if they really just adjusted to rotations.
Right.
As long as time the Heat are moving the ball from one side of the court to the other, and there's somebody who's slow to move over, or somebody gets caught up in the slip. That's really just
that's really it.
Trouble for them. That's about it. Yeah.
It was a really close game. Yeah. That was really the only main mistakes. Like, again, overall stats wise, everything was about even. Just a good game. It's just a disappointing way to lose at home, though, because you had it. You can't lose home court advantage like that, especially when you're favorites, like heavy favorites like the Nuggets are. You can't do that. You can't lose like that.
Yeah.
All right. If you had to pick MVP of the game, who would you pick?
MVP of the game. I would say I'm gonna go with Bam. I think that he really has set the tone in these first two games. He's been consistent. He's been attacking and being what we need him to be, whether that's defensive anchor or running the offense on the other side. He's been really solid, and we saw that tonight with just his timing of things, really, not even about him scoring so much or doing so much of this one thing, but the understanding the flow of the game, the timing of it, being able to find guys in rhythm, and being able to make the adjustment on Jokic and keeping him at bay in a way. Even, like I said, Jokic is a tough cover. He got 41. And I'm saying he did a good job because of how Jokic plays. Like, Jokic, I'm looking at it, I'm like, man, this dude really just doesn't miss shots. Even his jump shots, I'm like, he rarely misses. So if he can get 41, but he's got like 4 assists or lower, that's going to be a big thing for us, because he's somebody who gets like 10, 12, 14 assists a lot of the time, and that can rally the other guys. So I got to give it to Bam for what he's been doing so far.
Yeah, Bam really does deserve it. Since you hit on Bam, I'm going to say maybe Gabe Vincent, because he gives you that consistent scoring when you need it. When the game looks like it's about to be a blowout, or the Nuggets seem like to run away with it, Gabe will make those timely shots. So shout out to Gabe Vincent for that. But definitely Bam definitely deserves it. So Zay, I'm assuming you're still sticking with your prediction. I'm assuming that you believe the Heat will defend home court and that they'll win game 3 and 4. Is that right?
That's what I'm hoping for sure. Gotta go home and take care of business.
Okay. Because you originally said like Heat in 6 or 7.
I said 7.
Okay. Well, that's the case. They're gonna lose one of these, right?
Not necessarily.
I mean, you said Heat in 7.
Yeah.
They may lose.
Let's see. So we played first 2, split 1-1. Heat got the next 2, so they win. That's 3-1. They go back to Denver.
So you telling me the Heat in 7 will only happen if they're down 3-1? I mean, you're up 3-1. That's basically what you're telling me, man. Like,
I'm not. It could be less. But I'm just giving. I'm saying 7 because I respect the Nuggets. I respect them to come out and put up a fight.
Okay.
But if they want to, if we want to make it less games, I'm okay with that too. But okay. I'm excited for the finals. I think it's going to be a well fought battle down the stretch in this series too. So I'm expecting 7, but I'm not going to be like, oh yeah, he's going to lose at home. I
see what you're saying.
Like,
I see.
Hey, but they could. Hey, they're a good team.
I can see this.
We have lost at home.
I can see games 3 and 4 being a split again. Honestly, I can see it being a split. But my main prediction was like Nuggets in 5. So in order for that to like ring, still be kind of true, they'll have to run the next 2. So for my prediction to be accurate. But anyway, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Yeah, that was a great game. It was a real good game.
Oh yeah. Shout out to the Nuggets for putting on a show at home still. They had some Jamal Murray's dunk was crazy. I ain't gonna lie, I was like, I was, because I do love Jamal Murray's game. It's just like at the same time I'm like, that's against my team though. But yeah, it was a good game, bro. Overall good game. And it's gonna be a good series, especially going back to Miami. So looking forward to that.
Yeah. Not a whole lot of NBA news right now, but the main news that kind of came out over the weekend was Frank Vogel is going to be the new head coach for the Phoenix Suns. What do you think about this hire?
It's very interesting.
And by the way, in case y'all don't know, Frank Vogel is the former Lakers head coach, the coach that led the Lakers to the championship in the bubble back in 2020. He didn't have the best exit as a coach, unfortunately, but he was also coached the Pacers before the Lakers too. So yeah. So with that being said, yeah, man, you continue. What do you think about the hire?
It's a very interesting hire. Frank Vogel, obviously is a proven coach, just a recent champion in 2020 with the Lakers. He's known for defense, known for building good defenses on his teams, and I feel like that would be a big help for the Suns. I almost said Nuggets, for the Suns for sure. The only other thing I guess is, will the players buy into his message, into what he's trying to do, and how will they build the roster out outside of their big, like, three of their core? It's going to be interesting because I want to see how. I'm not really worried about KD, Booker, and CP per se, but I want to know what's going to happen with Aiden, because I feel like there's still like a lot of residual tension in the air with them, and especially I feel like with Vogel, he's gonna want to be able to build his defense around someone, and why not Aiden, with him being like the big interior guy. So I want to see how that goes and how they kind of just round out their team, the roster, because they need some depth as well. But overall, I think Frank Vogel could be a good coach. He could do as good as they did this year. I think it really, for Phoenix, is just like, all right, health, and for some reason they've had like the past two seasons where they just lose focus in that last game, and it goes very badly. So I think he could be a big shift for the organization in that way. Defensively, they'll be a really competitive team. Other than that, Phoenix can only go as far as the roster is concerned, as far as I am. So
yeah. So with these hires, that means that Ty Lue is most likely going to stay with the Clippers now for sure. I think all the coaching vacancies are like done. They're filled now at this point. But as far as what I think about the hire, we were talking about this the other day. I was saying, like, who you going to get, right? But technically, if you look at the resume, technically Vogel is like an upgrade just because he's won the championship, right? So that was my main thing. Like, who are you going to hire that's like better than Monty Williams? And that's the only way he's better, in my opinion. With because he has championship, he does have a defensive mindset. I wonder who he'll have on his staff, honestly. Because you have two superstars in Devin Booker and Kevin Durant to build around. So, and you brought up a good point about Aiden. It's all about if he still wants to be there. I honestly don't know if he wants to be there anymore. It doesn't seem like he does. I would probably look to trade him. Ideally, I would contact the Pacers. This is the first. Like, can you imagine they had did they get Miles Turner?
That would be a solid run for sure.
Exactly. And the spacing and the offensive skill set he has. Like, that'd be dope. And if the Pacers get a little younger, and then somebody else you can have, like, there's some other things they can do.
Wasn't he supposed to go there at some point when the trade got vetoed or something? I remember there was a deal that was in place, and then they like matched it, and he stayed.
Oh,
but I thought it was.
It must have been back during like a when he was like up for like an extension or something. And that's what you're saying. Yeah, they probably did do that. So it could be something to explore, especially they offered him a deal in the first place when he was like a restricted free agent. So yeah. I'm just looking forward to see what they do. So good hire, because otherwise I would have been criticizing them pretty bad if they hired someone else. Because I could not think of anybody else that was out there. I was like, oh shoot, I think only Mike D'Antoni's left and some other people, right? So I did not think about Frank Vogel. It was unfortunate how you left the Lakers. I am glad that he gets this opportunity though to coach Kevin Durant, to coach Devin Booker. So
yeah, he'll have a good set of players and another coach on the floor with CP as long as he's healthy.
That's true, but is he gonna play?
That's the question.
I don't know, man.
Unfortunately, age and the physical aspect of things is catching up for him for sure. But I think as long as he's able to give you some quality minutes, he can make an impact. But I don't know how that's gonna look. It's kind of hard to say.
Would you consider bringing CP3 off the bench, considering his injury history, and try your best to preserve him for the long run? You do have Cameron Payne, like start Cameron Payne. And just bring CP off the bench probably, because you want him healthy for the playoffs. Like, absolutely.
I think that would be ideal. Honestly, I mean, I look at Miami with Kyle Lowry. Like he shifted to that second unit, and it's worked very well, and it's kept him a little bit healthier than previously. And obviously, we know CP3 has had a lot of bad injury history. But if I'm the Suns, I would definitely try to make that shift maybe and see if he's like open to it. I'm sure he's open to winning and the best way to win. And I feel like that could be a good route. Other thing I would do, obviously, like you said, Cameron Payne is there, but you got to build the roster out. And I would look to see like, I would see who's out there as far as like maybe packaging something to get another like good one or like combo guard to start at that point guard position, and then otherwise filling out the rest of the roster with shooters, with versatile wings, whatever you need at each position. But CP3 coming off the bench, I feel like would be beneficial for him, and he could. I feel like as smart as he is, basketball IQ and everything, he could probably benefit even more just kind of coming into the game and knowing what the other team is already like trying to do or has been doing. So we'll see. I think Frank Vogel will make some adjustments, though. I think he'll be impactful for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. Shout out to Frank Vogel.
Yeah. Shout out to Vogel. Oh, there was one more, like it's a minor piece. It's not a full like head coach, but Sam Cassell is gonna be part of the Celtics staff.
Yep. That's good. And especially considering like the Celtics staff, some of them going to Ime Udoka in Houston, Yeah. That says something to me too. But anyway, that's a great person to have on your staff. I wish he would have a head coaching opportunity though at some point. Sam Cassell.
Yeah, he's been coaching for quite a few years now, so it would be dope to get that shot for sure.
Yeah. Kevin Ollie is going to John Swan's staff for the Nets. Terry Stotts is going to the Bucks as an assistant coach. So,
okay,
joined Griffin's staff. So that's a great person to have on staff, especially considering this is Griffin's like first head coaching gig.
For sure.
So, Terry Stotts is a veteran in this game when it comes to coaching, former Trailblazers coach. So I'm sure he'll be a huge asset. So yeah, shout out to all these coaches. And the Suns gave Kevin Young the highest paid assistant coach deal. So shout out to him. And look at these coaches getting paid. That's what's up. I don't know if this is really high news or not, but Chris Haynes reported of Yahoo Sports that Anthony Edwards left Clutch Sports. Of course, Clutch Sports is like known as a company by Rich Paul, who is a well-known associate of LeBron James, longtime friend of his. Anthony Edwards looks to get the most on his next deal that's coming up at the end of his rookie contract. So the fact that he's leaving Clutch Sports, he's going to sign with WME. Okay, interesting. Okay,
you said WME.
Yeah, WME.
Okay,
that's who he's expected to sign with. So, yeah, interesting. Just a piece of news there. NBA news is kind of slow. Everyone's focused on the finals right now,
as they should be.
As we should. Yeah. If there's anything else, we'll react to it during our podcast here on the Swish Masters Podcast. The next time we'll go live after the game on
Wednesday.
Yep. Thank you, sir. All right. Yep. Wednesday. All right. So spread the word. Let us know your thoughts. Of course, I still have Nuggets in 5. Heat has Heat in 7, right?
Correct.
Cool. Zay has Heat in 7. I have Nuggets in 5 still. This is a very, very exciting game, and I really hope the series is like this. I wouldn't mind having the game 7, but it's just about Jokic for me, man. How can you slow down that man? It's really hard to do that.
It's tough, bro. It's very
just his shot and everything, man. How he shoots, it's hard to block it.
He is he's ridiculous, bro. Like left foot fadeaway, right foot fadeaway. He's long, he's strong. He's not a fast athletic guy, but he's deceivingly quick and strong. So he's super smart. He's a very tough cover, but I think my guys are doing a good job so far. Just gotta slow him down. Slow him down.
You know, my dream scenario would be if this thing with the Mavericks don't work out. I would love to see Luka and Jokic on the same team.
Oh man,
I would love to see that. Can you imagine the type of basketball we'll see? Luka Doncic and Jokic
Luka
on the
got
same
with
team.
Joker? That would be too much. You know how much easier the game would be for Luka
and Joker.
That's crazy. But
that's just a dream scenario. But anyway, that's the things don't pan out with the Mavericks because it's not looking too good for their situation. So
yeah, we'll see what Mark Cuban does.
Yeah, we'll see. Anyway, keep watching NBA Finals. We'll be watching them right along with y'all. Yeah, man.
Absolutely.
I don't have anything else. Want to do a round of final swish?
Yeah,
close it out. Cool. All right. You want to go first? 'Cause I don't...
My final swish, I'm gonna shout out to the Las Vegas Aces, Aja Wilson, Candace Parker, this new super team. WNBA season is underway. Aces are still 6-0. So shout out to the Aces, man. They got that new practice facility looking good. It's some good WNBA basketball going on. If you're not tuned into the finals, be sure to check out the WNBA. I'm looking forward to catching up on some games, but have been keeping up with Asia in the game, so doing pretty good. Shout out to the Aces, and shout out to Brittany Griner. Returns back in her first couple of games, and Phoenix. It's going to be a competitive WNBA season this year. We got some squads for sure, so y'all stay tuned, man.
Yeah. My final switch is not really basketball related, but I'm a Baltimore Ravens fan. Thank you so much for re-signing Lamar Jackson. I was so worried for a second. I am so excited for this upcoming Baltimore Ravens season. Odell Beckham Jr., Zay Flowers, Rashad Bateman. If we can get DeAndre Hopkins, that's over with. That's all I'm going to say. But thank you for not for just getting this deal done with Lamar, because I couldn't go through a whole nother season of, are they gonna sign him? What he doing? What does this mean? What does this tweet mean? Like, we're so busy dissecting his tweets this whole summer. Like, it was crazy. But I'm glad we got that done. Shout out to Baltimore. Excited for this football season. By the way, that new rule that y'all did, that sucks. We're getting rid of kickoff returns, man. What y'all doing? I do not like this rule. It's trash. Change it. And that's it. All right. This has been Swish Masters Podcast. I'm your co-host, QtheGuru. Appreciate y'all. See you on Wednesday.
See you.